Please sponsor us, Red Bull.
Red Bull gives you wings.
You don't speak.
Don't whitewash me, bro.
I'm so glad we started recording. That was absolutely flawless timing. All right.
I'm gonna find that online later and be like, don't whitewash me, bro. I'm like, damn it.
So do you guys prefer to look at camera?
Yeah, just whatever. Talk. Talk.
Whatever
feels natural. Yes.
Cool. You like my eyes? They're big right now.
It's funny. I've not flirted with you and your boyfriend today. I know,
So
right?
you guys gonna have a threesome because that's cool.
You know,
Not the direction I thought that was.
that was really something. Thank you.
That would be awesome. I ain't care.
I officially, you just killed my brain. No, okay.
Miles, did you know?
Are we recording?
No.
Yeah, we are. Oh, we're good, sir, good. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Josh Silver from Constantly Calibrating.
This is Justin with Constantly Calibrating.
And we are chatting with Team RWBY.
Hey.
We have Lindsay, Arryn, Barbara, and Kara. So let's just start with a general thing. How's RTX for you guys so far?
Crazy. Super nuts. There's
amazing.
So many people. That's awesome.
We spoke earlier about just the substantial amount of growth that we've had from last year alone. We grew 20,000 people.
Yeah, so we tripled.
Yes. It's insane. And just with the RWBY audience alone, we were speaking about how last year we were premiering RWBY as an entire show. So we're like, I hope people like it. It's good, okay. We're waiting backstage to see the reaction. And that
we were literally going like this.
Yeah,
with
we're
our
like,
fingers.
yeah.
Quiet now.
Their reaction from that year alone blew our mind because everyone was so excited and for this new project that was coming out, and now we have this huge fan following that's here. So that coupled with the amount of people who are at RTX is it's kind of blowing our minds right now. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. All the extra 20,000 people are the RWBY fans.
Yeah.
Definitely not used to this yet.
It's a crazy thing. I was in your panel. My brain, I don't know what day it is right now. I was in your panel, let's just go with that. Yes. And the reaction was just insane, particularly when the episode was shown. It was hard to hear anything that was going on because people were just insane. How does that compare versus, last year, as you mentioned, it was a new thing, people weren't familiar with it, and now you have people who are going into it already excited.
Yeah, I think with last year, people were kind of reacting to the episode very openly. Like, they didn't know what to expect. They had seen the trailers, and that was all they had based off of RWBY. But this year, they knew the characters, they knew what to expect in terms of crazy action sequences and comedy, and I think we just went bigger and better in all senses of that, and people were just, really excited and really enthusiastic about everything that happened.
Yeah. And with Rooster Teeth as well, we've had several other projects that are new or a little bit off of the vein of what Rooster Teeth has created before, and there's always a little bit of trepidation when you're making this new thing and presenting it to an audience that's used to expecting certain content from our company, and we're worried perhaps they might not like it, or maybe there might be some backlash to the amount of time that we put into this, but it could not have been more well received. We're so delighted with the turnout, and now not only was it well received, but now we've had an entire year, an entire season to go through, and people have bonded to certain characters. They have their favorites, they have the people that they hate, they have the characters that they love, and it's insane to see how much people have put into the show that we are a part of.
Yeah.
But with that, you voiced the characters. How was it like to actually live the characers?
Was dressing up as cosplay?
Absolutely.
It was absolutely amazing. It was so much fun, and we all were so excited, and we felt like we were our characters, and we loved the weapons, we loved the boots, like everything was awesome. It was like surreal and so exciting that I can't even explain it.
High school girls go at the same time.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
I've been waiting. It's a matter of time, and now we finally get to do this.
Yeah, last year we were all backstage, kind of like giddy and screaming because we were excited to see the reaction to RWBY and everything. But this year it was a mix between that and wanting to see the reaction to the costumes. Yeah, being able to go out and surprise everybody with that. So that was a really cool moment for me.
Anna Holen's actually the one who put them together. It's Matt's wife. I'm sure you're familiar. She did a superb job. She created the X-Ray and Bav costumes last year that were such a big hit. And when she approached us and said, "Hey, we want to do a RWBY cosplay," we're like, "Oh, well, this is going to be superb. People are going to love it," and they did.
Yeah, and she knocked those out in like 2 months, maybe even less.
She's incredible.
And they were really, really cool.
That's beyond impressive. I can't even imagine doing anything costuming like that. So that's just an insane thing.
She's a wizard.
She's a wizard?
Yeah.
She was actually trimmed up by her own string today. She had string just hanging out of her bag, and she tripped over
Your
herself.
craft's gonna kill you, bitch.
They're after you.
So okay, what would you say are all of you guys have done both some live action stuff, some voice, and now obviously voice acting. What challenges are there in between the two, like differences?
I think with live action, it's nicer because you get to play off of people that are standing in front of you, which is really helpful because, I mean, everyone works off of each other in some manner in actual everyday life, so it becomes easier. But in the booth, you are literally in a box. There's nothing going on around you that remotely is like what's actually happening in the scene. And it's more of a play pretend. You have to go backwards in your brain and be a child again. Like, this is happening. Go.
Boom.
There's a lot of imagination thrown into it. I completely agree. Miles and Carrie have done a wonderful job about directing us, and they really help us get into the characters and into the scene, especially with high intense scenes. A lot of the action and the fighting. I mean, obviously, we're not flipping around and cutting people in half. But
Wait, you guys aren't?
yeah, sorry. That's more Barbara's thing. But I would argue that there's strengths and weaknesses in both. We can absolutely play off each other whenever we're doing live action, but there's a lot of physicality that you have to focus on, making sure you look appropriate and you're facing the right way for the camera. But in the booth, you're free to be a weirdo, basically. And I don't know if you've seen the production diary where it shows me going into RWBY. I'm a weirdo in the booth. Absolutely, I'm flopping around and being
And
crazy.
you take off your shoes too.
Oh yeah, I'll take off my shoes.
You get all into it.
I just let it all out. I'm like, I am RWBY now. Yeah, but it's interesting to go back and forth between the two. It's kind of a little bit of a mind switch you got to turn on and off. But both have great strengths.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic of being in the booth versus doing something live action, just because you have to rely so much on conveying emotion just through your voice. Whereas with live action, you have your eyes and your face and your body where you could actually, act it out. But doing voice acting, you have to convey this message just by doing sounds.
Just the inflection.
Exactly, and it's challenging, but I think it's so much more fun for me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that it's when you're with people and live action, it's not just you and yourself, doing it. You have to do it with other people, which is awesome. But at the same time, if you mess up, then the whole scene's messed up, and in the booth you can go back and you can, reread things, obviously, and it's a lot easier to fix things and do different tones of voices and different emotions, and so you're able to convey exactly what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
More options to test.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Well, with all the RWBY stuff, I think we got individual questions for each of you. So, Kara, with the voice acting, directing the podcast, how do you transition between each of those?
It's really a lot of fun, and doing the podcast and being able to just go in and sit at the computer, I kind of turn on my, the technical side of my brain, and it's kind of like, using the two sides, and I love it. Then you get to go into the recording booth, and you're like, okay, I get to be creative now. I get to, have, just get to move around, and I get to be loud because I got to be really quiet, when I'm doing the podcast, make sure that I don't, they don't hear me over the mic, but then I get to go in and actually be on the mic. So it's an awesome way. It's easy to transition for me, but it's just click on one side of the brain, okay, click off, turn on the other one.
That side of the brain's always off for me. Most sides of my brains are always off.
Oh, with that, you have to do all the press, Barbara, and you also have to direct RTX, it seems. How do you handle doing both of those?
It's difficult. I actually was just getting text messages of people saying, hey, Q, tweet this announcement for RTX, and Q, do this and this and this, and Guardians messaging me and calling me on the walkie at the same time as me in a panel or doing an interview or something like this. So it's challenging, but I think everybody understands the role I'm in, and they're respective of that. So it's challenging, but I love doing both of those things, so it's always fun for me.
All right, awesome.
Arryn, with doing grouping stuff, what other kind of acting work are you looking to do? What kind of things would you want to do in the future in addition?
I get to do other projects with Rooster Teeth as well, like already being kind of in-house. I got to work on one of the shoots that they just wrapped up recently. I'm also now surprise premiered in RWBY as a voice actress. But I haven't seen that. So spoilers. I'm always looking to go outside and find more opportunities in like something outside of Rooster Teeth, and I'm always looking for stuff inside of Rooster Teeth.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
it's awesome. And Lindsay, just a little bit personal thing. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
But so
the dress is nice. I know. Thank you.
It's not bitches ain't shit dress, but
But,
Mustard yellow, shut up.
but so you and Michael have been, kind of in the public eye a lot. What is that? What has that been like, since married and being so public with that kind of with your relationship?
It's not that bad. I mean, we met at Rooster Teeth, so
Sure.
before then, even I knew that Michael was, a camera guy. He's the life of the party. He's the class clown of sorts. But it's interesting. I feel very it's wonderful. I feel very humbled that people are interested in my life in general because I feel like I'm still just me. I'm like college Lindsay. I'm like, I wake up and I'm disheveled and I go to Taco Bell and I roll up. But
They do have breakfast now, so
yeah, damn straight they do, and it's good. But people were tumbling me. I don't know, messaging me on Tumblr, and they were like, "Oh, we're ready for the royal wedding." I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Your wedding? That's a royal wedding for us." I'm like, "That's nuts." All right, thank you so much. And again, we just feel like we're normal people, but it's incredibly. I feel honored. Thank you very much for watching our wedding and wishing us some happiness. So far, so good. Doing good.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Acceptable.
Interview me again in like a month, and we'll see.
We'll do a check.
Checking in on Lindsay and Michael. How's it going? Oh, we hate each other. Oh, okay, cool.
I think we have time for one more quick question. I hope so. But so, where do you hope to see your characters on RWBY develop? Like, what's your hope?
Probably the boobs for RWBY.
Boobs.
Now it's great.
Is it right?
They move independently.
Yangs actually do move in.
I just
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying yours.
no, I don't think mine are big enough to move
And
independently.
scene. Okay.
Yeah, there you
Redo.
go.
Question.
Sorry, apologize.
Sorry.
I think you know what I
think with Volume 1, they spent a lot of time developing certain characters, and they didn't have time to really reach all of them. So I'm really hoping that you get to see more of Yang, just in terms of what she's been through and who she is as a person, and maybe a little bit of her backstory as well. So
yeah.
there's always hope for that. I know it's a bit selfish because it's the character I play, but I think people are just interested to learn the backstory of all of them eventually. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
My wife absolutely loves the show, and I don't know which character. She will never decide which one, so I know she wants more information on everyone. I think that goes true for just about every fan.
Yeah. We've spoken about it in other interviews that we had as well, but we're excited for Volume 1. Arryn specifically had mentioned that, we were introducing a lot of characters. It was a lot of introducing the entire show and the premise to the audience and having them warm up and welcome to everybody that's involved. And now that we have that, we have an established group of characters. People want to know what everyone's backstory is. What's the Schnee family like? What's going on in Vale? Why was Beacon established? Who established Beacon? All these different layers that have never been explored before, and now we can.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. This is Josh and
Justin
from Constantly Calibrating. Go to constantlycalibrating.com, and again,
Bye.
sign off.
Thank you.